Right now, we're using this marker type here to place our locations on the map. But SwiftUI lets us place any kind of view annotation in there. So we have complete control over how our app looks. And so in this video, we're going to add a custom SwiftUI view instead of the default marker balloon. And then we'll look at the underlying location data type to see what kind of improvements we can make there. Thanks to the brilliance of SwiftUI, it takes hardly any code at all. Just change the marker to be an annotation, like so. Same title and coordinates attached to it. But then give it a trailing closure with the body of the annotation. I'm going to say here as an image with a system name of star.circle. I'll then style up nicely. I'll say it's resizable, has a foreground style of red, a frame with a width of 44 and a height of 44, with a white background, and then a clip shape of circle. So it's completely custom. Let's press Command R again, and I'll place some locations so you can see exactly how it looks. So let's go to Glasgow, great city. There we go. It's Belfast, love it. Liverpool, fantastic. Lots of great places to visit in the UK. You can see there's our custom styling there. So it's as I say, it's a red foreground style with a white background and a circular clip shape, giving us that exact style there. Very nice. And it really helps our locations stand out on the map. However, I want to look beyond just our SwiftUI view. I want to look at a location struct itself and apply a few improvements that make it better. First, I really don't like having to make this CL location coordinate 2D here inside our SwiftUI view. I'd much prefer this kind of logic here to live inside our location struct. So we can move that into a computed property and then it cleans up our code nicely. To do that, add a mapkit import into your location.swift file. And then I'm going to basically take this whole coordinate line here, boom, out of that and put it into the location struct like this and say we have a coordinate which is CL location coordinate 2D, paste that on in and remove location from here and here. So it knows how to create its own CL location coordinate 2D, and it means over in our content view, we say coordinate is our location's coordinate, like that. It's much simpler, much cleaner. The second change I want to make is one I genuinely encourage everyone to make when building custom data types for use with SwiftUI, which is to add some example data for previews. So it makes previewing significantly easier. You can see exactly how it looks. So if possible, I would encourage you to add your own example location to your types containing some sample data that can be shown in Xcode somehow. To do that, we'd say there's a static let example, which is a location with some example things that make sense. For example, we'd say the UUID is fine. The name will do Buckingham Palace. Description lit by over 40,000 light bulbs. That's a heck of an electricity bill. Latitude is 51.501, like that. And then minus 0.141. Boom. Now, if you want to, if you're feeling fancy, you can wrap this with hash if debug and end if. And that means this won't get compiled into your release build that goes to the actual app store. It's just to Xcode testing purposes only, which is very, very nice indeed. Anyway, the last change I want to make is to add a custom equals method to this struct. Now, we already made the struct conform to equatable, which means we can already compare one location against another one. We can say, is Buckingham Palace equal to Trafalgar Square? No, it's not, okay? Now, behind the scenes, this works because Swift is synthesizing equality for us, okay? It'll write this function for us, and what it'll do is it'll say, okay, I have two locations. I'm going to do a member-wise property comparison, which means it'll go from the top to bottom of the list here. Does this ID equal that ID? Does this name equal that name? Description, latitude, longitude, whatever. It'll go through them all until it finds one that returns false, in which case they're not the same, and it returns false the whole thing. Otherwise, it returns true, saying, yes, these locations are the same. That is often wasteful. All our locations have an ID UUID in, already that just guarantees they are unique based on that one thing alone. We never ever have to compare anything else here. And so you'll very often want to write your own custom equals method. Here, not so much required perhaps, but in your own apps, it's very common to want to do this. I'll show you how it's done here. You'd say we have a static func equals here, with the left-hand side being a location, and the right-hand side being a location, and return bool true if they are the same thing. So LHS, left-hand side, RHS, right-hand side, because when you have two things, you say is Buckingham Palace equal to Trafalgar Square, left and right-hand side. So we'll just say the same if left-hand side equals, the ID, equals the right-hand side ID, like that. Compare those things. I am a really huge fan of making structs conform to equatable just as standard. Make them all equatable out of the box. Even if you can't use a nice simple equality function like this one here, I consider them simple value types, which is what they are, like strings and integers. I think we should extend that same equatability status to our own custom structs too. With that in place, the next step of our project is complete. Okay, we can now go ahead and run it again. You should be able to drop a marker, see the same annotations before, so Glasgow or Cairngorms or where you want to, Liverpool. Cardiff's great too, I love Cardiff so much. Anyway, it looks the same. Nothing really changed here, but you know behind the scenes, our code's a little bit neater.